Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Jaxson Dart, Week 4, first NFL start, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but there's even more Quarterback School content over there. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Jaxson Dart, Giants, Anakin first start in the league. Little quarterback lead draw, PRO here. Outstanding. Nice burst. Big time. Love it. Whatever the hell that dance is at the end too, I'm all for it, bro. Do you. Enjoy that thing. I really like how they designed this thing. Also, I mean, just a huge fan of 44 Man, the pride of Rio Linda. Everything except the Hornet vibes. Some nice burst there. I mean, just a little bit of mobility at the quarterback position goes a long way in an offense. So why I call this thing a PRO, you know, a lot of people just RPO here. To me, this is a double stick, so quick out, true stick. Must outside release go. Looks like he's blocking here. Oftentimes this will be a quick out too. And all this really is a box count thing. So if we're doing quarterback lead draw, we are leading up to quote unquote the Will, the Mike, and the nickel star or Sam. The offensive line, it's easy to see here from the backside, center guard going all the way to here. And really it's just a quarterback foot race on these two safeties. The reason why you would RPO this thing or throw it is if the box is too heavy or if you're catching pressure, if you don't like it. I just like it better than just called quarterback lead draw. Then you don't have an answer versus pressure. So you see the routes at the bottom. They get matched to by the mic. Nobody for the line to go to, and you see the surge. So excellent block from Scadaboo. Really nice job, again, from Dart being able to accelerate and get this. Watch the left guard and center here combo out to call it turquoise gloves. Looks like he's wearing Bruce Bolts. Really nice. And then again, not sleeping at all on the athleticism of Dart. Dude can run it. Ran it for 54. Really should have been more with a holding penalty later, but that's a big time run. Next one here, third down, medium, backed up. We're going to extend this thing to the right. Kind of signal our guy, come back to the ball, come back to it, rip this little sideline scramble drill. It's a really nice job from Dart extending. You know, I don't think there's really anything there, whatever the hell this was supposed to be concept-wise. I think we have a go on the left. Looks like he's looking to, he doesn't like. Again, I think it's fair to say, you know, if you look at the whole game, and I'm not going to show the whole game, but there were a few times in this game where Jaxson Dart got his eyes down in the pocket. So again, whatever this is, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know how they're asking Jaxson Dart to read this. It looks like this is a go. You know, if that's a go and we're looking this way, so we're back here, we're looking this way, this is a pretty good pitcher to throw this on third medium. I'm not saying I love it, but I'm just saying they called it. It looks like it's one-on-one. It's there. This looks like a little bit of an in-breaker. This looks like a go-to that comes back on the sideline as we extend. You know, there's really nowhere to go with the ball if you're not willing to throw this one-on-one down here to the bottom. So, no, right? I mean, he's looking left. He doesn't like it. Back right, no. Now we got to go extend. You know, I don't think there was any imminent threat of must go. The game probably a little fast for him in the pocket, this thing, just with his eyes and his feet. But this is a nice job extending. Go, create. You can see him signal right here with his left hand. Come back, come back, come back. Great awareness, high football IQ. That's a nice shot on the run, and that's a big first down backed up. Next one here, this is a tough one. We end up getting blasted from the field here at the bottom. We've got the right tackle doing what I consider a big duel. He does a good job protecting the B gap. We have a free runner. It looks like Jaxson Dart has no idea. So just one of those plays that you need to learn from really quickly. These are not the types of hits you want to take in the league. And then really, you're not going to last very long getting hit blindsided like this. That is a brutal shot. Now, again, we can go to school here on the motion. So on this quote-unquote tear or gash motion as he comes behind the quarterback, you got to go to school as far as what are they doing? Is someone running with him? All right, if someone's running with him, that's almost guaranteed to be man. Not all the time, but most likely guaranteed to be man. So as we come across here, looks like man, right? That's what you would be thinking in your head. Is there anybody deep in the middle of the field? Where are the safeties at? Well, the safeties look like they're on the same side. That's usually pressure, probably zero-ish. Okay, same side of the field for the safeties equals pressure. Safety equals pressure, same side of field. Now, if the first read is whatever the hell this route is, okay, that's where the ball has to come out. Again, I personally hate having the free runner away from where our eyes are. Again, if we're looking over here, I would want the protection turning back to this player. So the center coming down here, these three being blocked, clean it up. These three being blocked, and then we would be hot off these three if all three of those guys rushed. So again, just philosophically, not my jam as far as where the protection's turning to, but regardless, this is on Jaxson Dart. You cannot get hit like this. That is brutal. And if you were to play it down here to the bottom, you probably hit the new number 3 or 2.5 down here, the number 2 wide receiver over the ball in the sit, 82. So again, we can see the turn here. As soon as the center goes to 0, so as soon as the center turns to our right, you're hot off 3 to the left. And again, this is not like this isn't pass pro 101, but if we're going these three for these three right here, and we've got these two for the 2 most dangerous over here, most dangerous. If these 3 all guys blitz like this, the most dangerous is going to be, you're going to squeeze that thing, and he's going to run the farthest track. And again, most teams, most systems would have some sort of hot here. So unsafe football, don't love to see it. Again, I understand it's his first start in the league. I'd not want to see this if it was a Friday night. And those are bad hits. Whew. Next one here, this is 3rd and long. We're going to hit the number 3 on the over the ball hook right on the logo. You know, this is a bit of what I'm used to calling a non-traditional Tampa. It's a nice job putting it right on him. Again, good little pocket movement. Find the soft spot in the zone. 23 to me is probably playing the deep middle player. And again, that's pretty open right there right on the logo. But it's a nice job from Jaxson Dart finding it 3rd and forever. Not a great down and distance to be in. Again, you can tell whatever they're trying to present here defensively, okay, they're going to end up getting to non-traditional Tampa. What does that mean to me? That means cloud. He's getting to the half field. He's quote unquote playing the deep hook player. I think they use the corner down here. And then you get the traditional hook players dropping down from the heavens. And I think he runs all the way across here. And that kind of creates this huge void on why that over the ball hook is so open. So kind of, you got to see all those moving parts post snap. Really nice job here from Jaxson Dart, being able to see all those moving parts. Get up in the pocket. Looks like he's looking to his left. No, up. Got it. So if he's trying to hit that double move up top, you know, maybe it's there. He doesn't like it, come right back to the hook. I think he does a good job of just using his eyes and finding that over the ball hook for a first down. So it's just a really nice job. Again, who knows? Could he let that thing go on our right side? Is he looking there? I will tell you, just pocket movement wise, you know, I'm never a huge fan of the heel click thing. He's got multiple heel clicks going on there, but he buys enough space to be able to drive that thing, see the coverage, rip it, get a first down. Next one here, 3rd and long. This is the one where Neighbors gets hurt at the bottom. You know, this is obviously a massive bummer to lose this type of weapon. Again, and, you know, the field surface or the playing surface at this stadium is probably beyond the scope of this video, other than the fact of acknowledging the fact that it's obviously an issue that's embarrassing on multiple fronts. From Jaxson Dart's perspective, 3rd and long, they get a free play here. So you feel that guy cross the neutral zone right over the center. They do a nice job snapping it. Again, pretty impressive for a guy making his first start in the league, get a play like this on 3rd and long. So that's a gift of a free play. You're basically trying to find the deepest route, give your guy a chance. So they all go here. So really you could throw it to anybody. Never against throwing the ball deep down the field to this guy. You know, run out of club a little bit, catch a little gust. It looks like Neighbors tries to almost like slingshot himself back with the corner and kind of grab him. Again, not going to sit here and pretend I'm this kind of doctor, but sure doesn't look great. You know, if Jaxson Dart had to do it over again, he probably would just take a normal drop and throw it up to neighbor so you don't run out of club on that thing. But that's just unfortunate. Next one here, another 3rd and long. Again, Jaxson Dart going to use his legs, go get a first down. This to me is inverted smash down here to the bottom, flat corner with a little crosser coming to you. Again, you know, could he potentially hang in the pocket and make this throw? Maybe, but I like leaning into using your legs as a young player. You know, almost get snipered there, turf monster, but it's a nice job. And this is very nice pass pro we'll talk about from the end zone. But what's going on here coverage or route wise down the field? Corner, flat. This to me is just an iteration of smash. Then we're going to run switch release crosser. So coming across here with a post. And, you know, if you had time, you know, this is probably coming open. This is a massive, that's more of a 7-on-7 throw, but those are big time windows potentially open if you haven't taken off and run. They run a little pick here with the right guard. The back does a great job adjusting, and he's out. But you can see here, just imagine if we took our normal drop, hitch, crosser. You can see the timing of what that thing would look like as opposed to, you know, hitch, run. So again, I think the film shows him playing a little fast. You know, you get some good field position, you get a couple first downs with your feet. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now watch 43, the backer in the A gap, pick the right guard. The back almost guarantees to have 43. He sees that, and then he takes the offensive lineman's. Very rare to see a back and an offensive lineman, especially an interior guy, pick up a stunt together. Just really well done. High-level pass pro. Okay. The pride of Rio Linda, y'all. That's a big-time ball. Outstanding. Next one here, another 3rd down. We got pressure. Jaxson Dart does a nice job right here. It looks like he checks here. Checks into 7-person pass pro. He's going to take a shot at the middle of the field here with a post. End up getting the penalty with the defensive hold. It's a great job of vision, of line of scrimmage execution, communication, just an outstanding football play. So you're in that kind of just outside the red zone, field goal range where they're going to try to knock you back. You can see him communicate. Good enough pass pro. Just missed the hookup because of the penalty. So again, that is a look of 0. All right, I know a great course that goes into significant depth about this look. That to me is birds on a fence, everybody at the same level, most likely inside of that player. One of my favorite spots to attack is the middle of the field. How can we get there? Post. Find a way to get to the post, block them up. Again, anytime that 4th defender, when you have 7-person pass pro, so we're keeping the tight end and the back in here. If there are 4 people deep, technically you should have everybody blocked, smiley face. Okay, if this guy creeps up to the line of scrimmage, now they have 8, they're going to have a +1. You might not have enough time to take your drop and a hitch. But from depth here, take your normal drop, get a hitch, let that thing go to the middle of the field. And again, this is really the defense's only option here is to grab you. But I just love for a young guy to see it, to communicate it, to signal it, and to get the ball off and put a bunch of stress on the defense. It's just outstanding. It really is. This is great football. You can see the signal. You can see the communication. You can see him have enough time. Now, does he look super comfortable? No. But most people wouldn't look comfortable versus 0 on 3rd down in the league. Give your guy a chance. Good things happen. Halftime. You dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Hit the bell, get the notifications. I really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing it. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can check out all the courses over at the website, theqbschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. Finally, please make sure to follow me across all the social media platforms and channels. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. All right, into the second half here, another 3rd medium. This time we're working the bottom of the screen, most likely the number 1 on what I'm used to calling the F post, short post, whatever you want to call it. it's probably there. Again, this is just another example of Jaxson Dart using his legs, not forcing it. He doesn't see it. He doesn't like it. He's the final decision maker. I would say that it's probably there, and we can probably put that ball on him. Now, again, I understand that it looks like Weddle's out there playing safety coming downhill on you on this short post. But if this is the play where he's running that kind of like two gather, and then we're really trying to get the ball right here on what I'm used to calling that F post. If this is a quarter safety, yeah, I'm real nervous. If he's back at all in a half field look, to me, you just raise up, put it right on him, right out the break. And then if it wasn't there, I think they run like an iteration of dagger on the backside. So you just come over and high load that thing with these two on the backside. But this ball is designed to go here. And it's one of those things where, you be the judge. Could you put it on him? Is that safety deep enough? That to me is certainly open. That's third down open in the league. We got to put it on him. He's going to get hit, but we'll have a first down. Instead, he uses his legs, almost gets a big run, makes that miss there. But man, that's one of those things where, again, as you look at the film, you can acknowledge the fact that it's a nice win. And, for whatever reason, we're kind of one and running here. Not for whatever reason. It's his first start. So that's the reason. He'll get more and more comfortable. Next one here, the Chargers trying this long trap play action, trying to hit the tight end on that little crosser pop pass. It's there. This is a perfect example. Whenever I talk about this video, I usually try to put a link to the video I'm talking about up top, but there's a great video of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady talking about how they stole this pass pro and the issues that come tethered to it. Bill always talks about it. It's really an unsound pass pro. This is exactly what he's talking about. So again, as we pull the right guard, you're asking the center to essentially make a ridiculous block, and it's just not there. And so when you turn on the film, you're like, damn, Jaxson Dart, what are you doing, bro? What are you set your feet and drive this thing? You've got the tight end's going to be open. The number one down here to the bottom, post motion is going to be open. You got a bunch of guys open, right? Like if you're a screenshot guru here, this is open. Let's hit it. If you don't like that, this is going to be open. We got multiple opportunities here. But the reason it's not there is because this pass pro is not sound. And I don't mean, I mean the scheme of it is not sound. So when you pull the right guard, and usually you'll see teams kind of shift to see if they get any indicators on this thing because of how unsound the pass pro is. But as you pull the right guard here, you're asking the front side to usually block down. Okay, so that's kind of how they're covering this thing. And then he's going to take the C-gap player out here. You're leaving the backside tackle on a big island. Okay. Any type of pressure to the backside is a problem. So this pressure right here, the center has to go get that thing. Then the guard has to come all the way over here. Just look at the angles. If we're saying, hey, the center and the guard are going to block this. Those are bad angles. Yeah, if you knew it was coming, could you like jump over here? Maybe, but you still probably aren't going to block it. So it's just one of those things where it's a very unsound pass pro and you don't like it versus pressure. They make the perfect call. They got you. And we still almost hook it up. Yeah, oh, so close. Next one here. Again, we can celebrate how great of a win this is against the Chargers, really good team. Herbert turns it over a little bit or they throws interceptions. You get really good field position. A play like this goes your way, could easily be recovered by the Chargers here. This looks like just weak side, inside zone. Ball's flopping around over there. He probably, isn't the most comfortable guy under center yet. First start, not a lot of reps together. All of a sudden, you've got that center having to reach block a shade. That shade's going to try to absolutely knock the hell out of that cat backwards. So that center's trying to reach block that shade. You can see the center get thundered back. Not a good feeling. Ball in the ground. Normally what I say, as far as you can tell, like sometimes coaches love to be like, well, whose fault is it? Is it the center or the quarterback? And what I used to say all the time, and I still do kind of believe, is if the quarterback can fall on it, it's the center's problem. If the quarterback pulls out of there early, and the ball, is sitting there on the ground, that's almost always the quarterback's fault. So again, could Jaxson Dart fall on this? Yeah, it looks like he could. He doesn't. But I mean, it's sitting right next. I mean, come on. He could easily fall on that. That is fortunate to get that thing back. Next one here, first touchdown pass. Now this is kind of a unique, cool, and I'm going to classify it as slightly lucky pass play here. To me, this is an iteration of power shovel. I think most people would call this counter shovel, and we'll talk exactly what that is. Normally, you would be reading the C-gap player here. I'll draw up kind of how I think this play is most often run, and then we'll talk about exactly how it gets run here. But usually, you're reading the C-gap player. So what does the C-gap player mean? That means that this guy right here. Okay, now, if you watch the channel, you'll hear me talk about reading the C-gap player a decent amount. If you're a part of the Patreon community, you'll hear me talk a lot about what I call the C- and the C+ player. When there are two players in the gap that we're reading, this is a bad feeling. So technically, they got you here. What I mean by that is, as we go here on this little like pitch or swing screen, and just think of the back over here, this would be the same as power read. There's already someone there for the pitch, right? That's what I'm used to calling the C+ player. And again, this is my language, not anyone else's language. So when the C+ player goes, the C- player, the guy that we're reading, is still there. So when he comes up here, normally, if he squeezes this thing, you're not going to be able to shovel it. And again, I think of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson as the guys who are the best at this. You're not going to be able to shovel it. He's going to be right there. And you're probably going to have to like fake it and go run it yourself. But they do what I'm used to calling counter shovel. So power read or counter read here, you would be reading this guy, and the backside guard would be wrapping up for the play side inside linebacker. But when you kick this player, this is what I'm used to calling counter. Sorry, I drew the tackle. It should be the guard. When the guard is kicking this player, that's what I'm used to calling counter shovel. So now it's more counter where he's kicking out. And now really what happens is technically this guy theoretically should be unblocked, and the guy who's got the backside eligible that we're shoveling to here, he should be unblocked. So 3 is a really good player. Right here, he should probably tackle with his hands, and this probably isn't a touchdown. So first watch the adjustment to motion, or watch who's got Scadaboo. Here comes that counter kick out. And again, middle linebacker unblocked. Scrape player unblocked. 3 on the backside unblocked. Not the greatest tackle, great effort to get in for the touchdown. And again, a little fortunate, right? A little fortunate. Again, I'll draw it up here just because I'm a run game guru, and this is really a run play. Gap down, gap down, gap down. Here's the counter part of it. So we're countering this C- player. The C+ player is going with Scadaboo. So as we come out here, and then here's that backside shovel action. So he's coming in here, and then he's coming right off here. But again, should we deuce up to this player? Maybe, but he's not going to be blocked either on the backside man-to-man. So they get a little fortunate right here. It's a nice scrape. They just don't tackle well enough, and this ends up being a touchdown. Pretty sweet. Great effort. Whirly bird. Nice balance from 84 too to find a way to get in the end zone. Whoop. Next one here. This one's funky for me. Trying to figure out what's going on here and where they're trying to get the ball. Again, to me, 84 looks like he makes sense as far as the timing of it. It, for whatever reason, doesn't look like Jaxson Dart is comfortable with whatever they're asking him to look at here. So he's kind of bailing, moving around, trying to create, and all of a sudden it's a bad sack. So for me here, for quarterback-wise, anytime you're out of the pocket and you get sacked, it's a bad sack. So even if we say we have no idea what this play is supposed to be, crosser, post, I'm going to guess this is supposed to be an in, and this is supposed to be like a wheel. So again, wherever he's supposed to be looking first, I'm saying this could certainly be thrown. Theoretically, you could throw that as well. This potentially. There's lots of opportunities here for this thing. We're going to fake this thing. Scadaboo does a great job blocking. Again, we're pulling the guard. There's a lot of time to say whatever we're looking at. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know the answer, but I am going to say once we're outside the pocket here and we don't like whatever this is, just drift and throw it away. Live to fight another day. We're not taking negative plays when we're outside the pocket on these shot opportunities. So no, outside the pocket, can't get sacked. And again, you can see the tight end coming open. Maybe if you're trying to throw the number 1 down here to the bottom, you don't like it at all the whole time the second level gets underneath it. Hard to say for sure. I will say for sure that that is a bad sack. We're outside the pocket. He's a good enough athlete to extend, create, and I think even if he just threw it away from right there, he'd be fine. Instead, he turns into like hero mode and he gets thundered on both sides. Next one here, just kind of another example of just kind of being hung on a route for a tick too long for me. So it looks like he's trying to work either the 2 or the 3 up top. It's not there. All of a sudden his eyes come down and he goes and tries to make a play, and this time he can't. So again, I can't sit here and tell you, oh, the ball, he wants to throw it to the tight end over the ball, or oh, he wants to throw the number 2 down the field. I will tell you that if you just look at his eyes here, okay, with the Anakin look, it looks like they're bouncing all over the place and they're down. Who knows who he's signaling? Get out, try to create. It doesn't look like there's a lot of in phase, in structure, get through a read. So again, whatever this is supposed to be, it looks like we're trying to go over the ball, take a shot down the field. This looks like a deep hurl or hinge. This looks like a double move down here to the bottom. So if you were to, let's just say you start here, it's one of these two, vice versa, this could easily be 3. You could make the argument here that one-on-one here, anytime you're in a 3-by-1 and this safety is peeking or trying to cheat that thing, poach it, you got an opportunity for a one-on-one down here to the bottom. I would just like to see him go. I'm assuming he was trying to go here 1. I would just get to here 2. Just show us 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, as opposed to 1, eyes down, I got to run. So bottom of the screen, that's a throw you're going to probably throw. Up top, no, yes. See how there are different levels? Even if you're trying to go this, no, yes. So again, super easy in a chair with a marker and a clicker the day after, as opposed to your first start in the league. But it's one of those things where I think if you're looking at that and you're trying to be objective, there's an opportunity for him to get through a read and not necessarily have his eyes come down. So no, gotta go, not there, get down. Next one here, we got a short yardage situation. I honestly have no idea what this run is supposed to be. Normally, I would say this is a very bad sign. It looks like it's just a quarterback designed run, and it ends up being like a tackling drill between you and 32 here. Probably not what you want to do, NFL offense-wise here, ever. It looks like someone's just lined up offside, so we get a penalty here. But this doesn't look like he's reading anybody. I just, again, I'm as big of a fan of quarterback run game as anybody, but not like this. Like we gotta have people blocked at the point of attack. But it will say Jaxson Dart's strong dude. I mean that's a big boy collision. That's a big boy collision, and he keeps his feet, drives that thing, and maybe gets the first down on his own without the penalty. Next one here, 4th down. We're in empty, trying to get a little gun naked keeper going down here to the right, hit that slide or sneak flat. Chargers do a good job of disrupting it. I'm going to talk about a few different things here as far as the scramble drills. There's a route that I don't love, 18 going inside on the corner down here on the bottom left. Once he goes inside 23, to me, it's a very selfish route because it covers the back, the over coming on the backside. There's also a Favre rule that I used to talk about and use as far as on these naked and keepers in the red zone that I'm going to talk about with the back. So what's going on here? First of all, in my opinion, gun naked keepers are tough anytime. So we're faking this quote unquote jet sweep coming back the other way to the back. It's not there. We're trying to get this sneak or slide flat out here in the flat 1. Okay, what I'm talking about as a selfish route here is the corner. He needs to go out, and he's got to be outside of this cornerback. So as soon as he goes inside of this and decides he's going to like run the line, not only is he never going to get open on the corner, but he is then going to squeeze the backside over and make this window more condensed than it should be, because there's someone running with him and this corner's here. So now this window is condensed because of his decision to go inside the safety. Then the far rule that I like to talk about that he used to do all the time, especially in the red zone, he would tell whoever it was to like save his move. So as soon as he would peek back at the quarterback, as soon as he saw the quarterback pull up here, so once he stops his feet, then we keep going. Then we make him. Then we do something to get open, as opposed to just being like a nothing burger backside clear. Okay, so the first thing here, let's watch Scadaboo on that Favre potential on the backside of this naked keeper. So as he comes across, again, that's not a low effort guy. That's just him them not having that baked into how they play this play, because he could easily take that thing to the post and hit that thing. So not saving a move there. Now let's watch the sneaker slide flat. Gets knocked off, boom. Now let's watch the corner go inside the safety right there. That muddies the pitcher on the over. This over should be a touchdown. If he runs a real corner route, this over is a touchdown. Now again, I'd love him to come flat and be faster, but not there, not there, not there. Now we got to go. Now it's scramble drill. Now again, I don't think 17 knows what he's doing on a scramble drill. Maybe you put it to the front pylon right there, but it's fourth down. You got to give your guy a chance, almost hook it up. So there's a lot there that could have been better. At the end of the day, there are probably calls that I like better, but moving the launch point, getting on the edge, trusting your quarterback. The other thing you could tell Jaxson here is, hey, stay on the move, bro. Be a threat to run it too, as opposed to like the slow trot. So no. Oh, God. Fourth down, got to throw it. Give your guy a chance. So close. Next one here, third and medium. Doing a really nice job hitting the sit over the ball here. Just a beautiful job of the Chargers essentially void a zone in cover 2 here when they rush 5. So you rush 5 and play any type of traditional zone coverage, you're going to be voiding a zone. They void the middle of the field, and it's right there. Too easy. I would say normally, it looks like he gives a signal down here to the bottom for whatever this is. But normally in cover 2, so we'll say half field player, cloud corner. Normally you would have someone in the curl flat, someone in the curl, not curl flat, someone in the curl, and then someone in the hook, the middle of the field. Well, if they're going to rush 5, they're then going to void one of the underneath coverages. So now we've got a flat player, a hook curl player, flat player. And that's why this thing looks and is so wide ass open. They rush 5, they void one of the lower zones. Jaxson dart, the Giants are able to take advantage of it. So no. And again, I'm asking him to make reads here. This looks like he's going outside, in, 1, 2. When it matters most, third down, zone coverage, really nice job. That's a big time first down, fourth quarter, working towards icing this thing. So no outside, inside. Excellent. So that is a wrap. Jaxson Dart, first start, first win. Lots to be excited about. Certainly his ability to run it. They were obviously excited to have some calls in there to move the quarterback around and run it. Couldn't get to that lead draw fast enough in the red zone. A bunch of other little cool runs in there as well. That part of it is great. You got to acknowledge the fact that Chargers turned it over a little bit. You had some great field position. There were some nice throws. I thought his ability to extend, create, kind of gave the offense a different look. In addition, you also have to say, you're going to have to work through stuff from the pocket a little bit more consistently. What that looks like moving forward. You're going to imagine, or I'm going to imagine, that that's going to get better and get better quickly, because there were probably a few too many one and runs, one and eyes down, one and takeoffs, as opposed to sitting in there and kind of going 1, 2, 3 run, 1, 2, 3 extend, and some bizarro sacks too. The one where you're unblocked from your front side, which is technically your backside with where you're looking, it can't happen. You're just not going to survive very long with that. Then there were a few other instances where maybe you could have thrown the ball away and saved yourself a negative play. But other than that, you can see the energy, the excitement, kind of the vibes that he brings to the huddle to be able to kind of elevate that group. And eventually with Neighbors going down, it's going to be even harder moving forward. But regardless, you got to take a second, pause, enjoy that win, first start ever, big one against a really good team too. That's the other part of it. So all of those things impressive from Jaxson Dart. Excited to see more moving forward. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one. A little bonus coverage here, a little run game. This is the 2-point after a penalty, so 2 and 1 yard here, or 2-pointer for 1 yard. They're going to end up running zone read. Not only do I love the Prada Real Linda here doing a backflip, but if we're reading the C-gap player to the right, post motion here, we're running a little RPO with a stick to the right, zone read. Again, sometimes I know, modern defense, they try to like hedge gaps, but this is one of those things where we're reading the C-gap to player up top. That's an easy give read, right? He's trying to surf that thing from distance, hand it to the big guy, let him go fight for it. But you're at the 1 yard line and you're not going to be gapped out. Okay, so again, let me be really clear here. This is who we're reading, C-gap, right? That means everybody else here, we're going to be blocking, 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 blocking. Who's got the A gaps here, right? So let's just do this. He's in the B. He's in the B. This guy's got both A gaps. He's in the B. He's in the C. He's in the D. So again, they don't have enough people. Like, you can't ask this guy to do both. Or you can't, for me, on the 1 yard line, you can't. So again, are they supposed to be running like some sort of game here? Maybe, and they just don't. But this is one of those things to me here. This is as easy as it gets running it. I think it's a tough ask. Maybe this 3 technique is just doing his own thing, but you've got double 3 techniques here. You've got this Mike having to take both A gaps. I mean, that's easy money for a big ass guy like 44. Bulldozer his way in there. That's too easy.